events and presentations also in the community. And we, so it's how we, members, allies, make a better community. So thank you so much. And the news that I have for Mesa Redonda, we are working to have this summer a gathering, one of the local parks, a gathering with our Latino and immigrant community, and try to bring some professionals to help, like when I say professionals, it's a mental health professional, bringing just awareness for, to eliminate crime, and just to bring awareness to the community, and bringing the bridging, and the support to our families that they can trust, building that trust with law enforcement. So please try to see if we can do it sometimes in June, second or third week of June. I'll be posting that information in Mesa Redonda. And the other event that we're doing with Mesa Redonda as well is that partnership. I can't do everything. We have our volunteers with Kitsap Mesa Redonda, but I don't want them to get burned and tired. So you do remember that I used to do presentations at the college and schools with the folklore dance group. So we're coming back with the folklore dance group. So I partnered with the my always supporter, the instructor. So again, we changed the name of the group and everything. So not going to be folklore alegría, folklore dance, and Job, and he's not here today. He was able to come here. So I'm the co-founder as well. So both of us, again, I had it before, but I said, hey, I'm going to share my, that way I can have more support and then be out there, because I hold actually 2 jobs. So I work with the Kitsap Political District, and right now I'm wearing my hat of the Kitsap Mesa Redonda. Later I will provide information with you about upcoming events with the Political District, the parent-child program. But also I work with the college, and again, it's another hat. So right now I'm going to be Kitsap Mesa Redonda, and so I'm going to be giving brief introductions, and if you have anything to share about your organization, please feel free to talk about upcoming events or any support from all of us, so we can help you. Thank you, and I'm going to, so we have guest speaker two, going to be from Kid Vantage, Melanie, and Samantha, and Jamie, his wife, and Amy from CK, from school district. And but we have to, so if you can please just briefly introduce yourself and the organization that you represent, and then when it's your turn for your presentation, maybe you can give more information. But if you have to share any events that is coming up, this is the time to do it right now. Okay? Thank you. Melanie?
Hi, I'm Melanie Magnanet. I'm the program coordinator for Kid Vantage here in Bremerton, and I will talk more about what we do when it's my turn. I'm sorry.
Talk loud in the mic, so
Thank you.
there are people that are watching live.
Thank you. And I just want to acknowledge before, thank you, Melanie, that the conduit is recording this meeting. So if everybody's okay, understand. So,
Talk
everybody.
really
Okay.
loud into the mic.
Thank you. So,
There you go.
Thank you. So thank you, the conduit, for being here and supporting also our community. And thank you, Melanie, for the advantage.
Thank you for having me.
Katie Crabtree with Congressman Derek Kilmer's office.
Thank you, Katie.
Vasilika with Evergreen Goodwill, Kitsap Job Training Education, teaching English as second language, citizenship.
Any announcements, events, please speak up. Thank you.
Michelle LaFontaine with Bremerton Goodwill, case manager. I guess our next event coming up would be July 7th, and we are celebrating 100 years of Goodwill, and so they're going to be putting on parking lot, and so we're kind of trying to figure out what that's going to look like. It's going to be like from 11 to 3, I believe.
Thank you. And let me go back to Katie. Do you have any updates from Congressman Romero or anything that you have been working with Bill?
Yeah, so Title 42 is obviously ending, and so we're tracking that. I don't anticipate this Congress with current leadership taking up any immigration reform, unfortunately, but I will update the group as I hear anything. And I've been working and tracking what's going on in North Kitsap with families and trying to amplify what's going on there.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, let's go with Miss.
I'm Victoria Hilt, the Strong Community Facilitator from Kitsap Strong. And we have an event coming up on, I'm double checking the date, June 13th. It's a youth-led convening to share with you about what they believe is important and their barriers to success for future-bound work. Also, you'll be seeing us more in the community, mostly me, just building relations with parents and people in the community, and sharing about the science of positive experiences and the science of hope in working with trauma and the effects it has on the brain.
Question for Victoria?
Yes, the youth meeting, where is that?
It's at the Marvin Williams Center,
And what time?
3 o'clock, or 4. I think it's 4. 3 o'clock for me. It's 4, I believe, and there's going to be flyers and things like that coming out soon. The youth are just finalizing their stuff. It's all youth-led, so it takes them a little bit of time to get everything going.
Thank you, Victoria.
Hi, I'm Sherry Raines. I'm the Homeownership Program Coordinator at Housing Resources Bainbridge. We don't have any events coming up, but we are working with the developer for a new homeownership opportunity for townhomes on Bainbridge. So.
Thank
Hi.
What organization is presenting this?
Housing Resources Bainbridge. Could you talk more about
Yes,
homeownership
please.
opportunity?
Sure.
So we are community land trust. We have rentals as well, but for our homeownership program, the homes are held in the land trust. So we maintain ownership of the ground through a ground lease, and then there's restrictions in the ground lease that the buyer needs to be income qualified, so it has to be 80% or below AMI, and then the home owner or the buyer owns the improvement zone. They own the home. And then we hold that ground lease for 99 years and it's renewable. And the resale price is calculated based off of a formula in the ground lease. So we work to get the price down as low as possible initially so that it's an affordable price for the buyer going in. And then when they go to sell, it should be affordable to the next buyer based on that calculation.
What are the requirements?
It's for families to apply for.
Sure. So for our program, it can be up to 120% AMI, but we don't have any homes that are available up to 120 right now. This project that we have coming up with the 31 townhomes is up to 80% AMI. You cannot own other properties, so it has to be your only home. And then we have debt requirements. So your total housing debt and other debt needs to be 40% or below of your income. The housing debt needs to be 35% or below of your income. And I can share information too.
Thank you.
Wires.
Yes, thank you. And if you would like to have a presentation, just let me know during the year. Yeah, that way we will love to hear more about it.
We would love to do that.
Yes.
What's the application period? When can people apply and when's the
They
deadline?
can apply now. Oh, that's the right
Yes.
part. On our website, we have an online application. We also have a paper application, and we have translated our paper application to Spanish. But our website is just in English right now. And then, yeah, so they can go on, they can apply now, and then reach out to us if anyone has any problem with the process. The homes, though, that we have coming up for the 31, they're all one bedroom plus another room that's the same size as a bedroom, but it's not a bedroom. So they're smaller, so they won't work for everybody, but we encourage anyone who thinks it'd be a good fit to apply.
Let you see the website can be translated in multiple languages for our community that we inclusive.
Yeah.
And there is a way to start to do IT and do it instantly and make it translate to multiple languages. That way it can be,
Yeah. I would love to talk to you more about how to do that because we're like a 9-person organization, so yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions?
When you say that they can't own property, that's just like land or a home or something, that doesn't include like a vehicle?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it would just be, like real property, not personal property. So even if it was like an RV, potentially they could keep that.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Christine Arnita from Olympic Educational Service District Early Head Start Program. We share with Kitsap Community Resources. Families can apply for either program based on where they live, which is the best fit for them. We're getting ready to start doing applications for preschool for next year. We always are taking applications for early Head Start home visiting, and currently I think we have 6 Spanish-speaking home visitors in the community, and they're all full. So we're growing in that area. So if you know anybody, you can apply online on our website, and I have flyers in Spanish and English if anybody needs them.
One question.
Yes.
Do you anticipate having any preschool programs in the fall that provide transportation? No.
I'm sorry, transportation has always been an issue.
We have several folks with kids turning 3 who have asked about programs, and I'm not aware of any, but would love to know if anyone is.
Yeah, in the past we've been able to do like a bus pass or something, but if families don't live on a bus line, that's not really a very good option. Sorry.
Christine, in your organization, do you provide daycare?
We have one program out in Port Orchard at Discovery Alternative High School that does provide extended day, and also there's an extended day. That's early Head Start. Typically it's for teen parents, but if we have openings, other people can use that slot if they have subsidy. And then right next door, our Madrona classroom, it's an extended day. I believe it's 6 hours right now. It kind of works with the school schedule. Yeah. Discovery Alternatives.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm the family advocate at Kitsap Community Resources. A lot of what she said, our programs are very similar or identical in some areas. So right now we have currently we have 3 different, or I guess including East Early Home Base, we have 4 different types of programs, I guess you could say. Early Head Start, sorry. Our part day programs, which will be ending at the end of this month. We have 3 extended day sites, soon to be 5 because 2 of our part day sites will become extended day, it looks like, for starting in September. And then we have 2 full day sites that are all year, Monday through Friday. But we're accepting applications all year long and enrolling for schools. And then, I brought some flyers with me in English and Spanish for families, and an announcement to make. I won't be here next year. Actually, I'm going to Mexico for a year to teach English as a foreign language, so you won't see me next year, at least. That's my plan, but for a year I have family there, so that's I need to go. Yeah, so yeah, so yeah, but yeah, on that note, I'll let her speak. Yeah.
You're such an amazing advocate for all of those families. I don't know what they're going to do without you, honestly. But good for you. I'm so excited for you.
It was a hard decision, but it's family comes first before work.
My name's Annika from Kitsap Immigrant Assistance Center. Some things we have coming up. If you haven't been to Kayak before and you want to see our office, we have an open house on May 18th. It's 5 to 7 p.m. and we have our new executive director, Jason, that started in September. And he moved to Bremerton like a year ago, and so he doesn't know a lot of folks, and he's a great person. So if you want to meet him, he'll be there. And we'll have 5 to 7, May 18th. It's a Thursday. And I would say go to our website if you don't know where we are, because I don't have any flyers about it. And we have our regular services, tax and business services, immigration legal services, and then a lot of different medical care related to undocumented, uninsured adults. That continues. And then Wednesdays we're doing drop-ins now, so folks that have questions about lots of different topics are welcome to come in on Wednesdays from 10 to 5 without an appointment. Other days are by appointment. Yeah, I think that's it.
Any question for Annika about Kayak? No? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Annika. And Talia, please.
Hi, I'm Talia Humphrey. I'm the care coordinator here at Kitsap Public Health. And the Care Connect Washington program is still going on. So it's a program that supports households that are positive for COVID-19. So we supply Safeway grocery delivery and also $1,000 in financial assistance. That could go towards household utilities, mortgage, or even rent. So I'll pass around the flyers.
Yes, that is an amazing program that benefits everybody. They don't go by income, right?
Yeah, so we don't ask about income or payment. So it's suited to serve everyone and anyone.
Yes. And I really appreciate all the support you give to the community, Talia, because when we have Spanish-speaking clients, and so they do have someone who speaks Spanish, right? Or they put the language line?
Yep, so
Yes.
we use the language line, and then the front side's English and the back side's Spanish on the flyers. Thank you.
Any questions for her? No? Thank you. Char, nice to see you here in person
I
again.
know, I'm happy to be here. This has been an adventure to kind of get back in. Our organization actually was one of the slower people to go back into the office. We've all been working remotely since COVID, but we were really just recently statewide have gone back into the office. Although the Bremerton office has been in person, we've been there for over a year. I don't really have anything new. I work with Northwest Justice Project. We do civil legal services, no criminal. We help people with things like a lot of housing. We do a lot of housing now. We have kind of a housing prevention unit. We now have a foreclosure prevention unit to help people that are losing their homes. We still do a lot of other things, although those are really the two biggest areas right now that we seem to have calls for. Boy, I don't have a whole lot. We've now got 5 attorneys in our office here in Bremerton and 2 staff people, but we work very closely. We're part of our Tacoma office, and there's many more people there. The attorneys take cases in both counties. I think that's all I've got.
Sure.
We
don't do the right to counsel evictions. That's Kitsap Legal Services. We do other things kind of when people get unlawful detainers served on them. We're kind of before that. So if they're having issues with their landlords, yeah.
Special represented victims of crime.
Yeah, we can't do people that are incarcerated. So the victims of crime, they're no longer incarcerated, which house arrest, any of that stuff. But if you're talking victims
of domestic violence. Yes.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do domestic violence. Yeah.
Really hard cases, for DV, and it just.
Yep.
Hard cases. So thank you. Yes.
And the eviction defense is available to folks who are undocumented also, correct?
I believe so. And I also believe, so we usually help people 200% and below for poverty level. But I think with the eviction, it can go up to 400.
Okay. Because victims of crimes, I know, doesn't depend on immigration status.
Yeah, I think the victims of crime thing, we're still kind of like narrowing down what piece of that and how we're going that we're going to help people with, because I think there's other partners that are doing other legal issues that they're dealing with.
And I know, Chair, that when I was working with my clients,
That you partnership with the Northwest Immigrants, right? Project.
Yeah.
So your attorneys will send a referral immediately to NERP for them to take the case for victims of crime from immigrants that they don't have an immigration status. So the attorneys are connected with them.
Yeah, I think I think the computer system we've got, all
Yes.
the notes and all the information we can just send over.
Okay. How could, because there's some folks I might want to refer to the eviction defense that aren't documented, is that something I could find out online?
Yeah, I didn't bring cards. I
know there
but
are.
yeah, go. There's an eviction. I think they call it eviction prevention. We're not. One day they call it defense, one day it's prevention. But I think it's under eviction prevention. They're trying to stop it before it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Char. You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes. Miss Amy.
I'm Amy White. I'm one of the equity specialists for Central Kitsap School District, and we have our hands in a lot of things. One of them is that we have equity teams at all of our buildings, have for the last several years, and have an ask from one of our equity team buildings. Fairview Middle School is going to be hosting an event on June 16th, and they're calling it Passport to Fairview. And part of what will happen on that day is teachers they've kind of split up, and they're going to be doing some very intentional teaching about a variety of cultures, and then kids will be able to learn about that and do some activities with that. But they also want to have community partners there as well. And so a few things that are possibilities is if you know anybody who owns restaurants that would like to come and do some advertising, have a booth, maybe have some samplers or have some candy to give away to kids. It's going to be during the school day, so kids are going to be rotating around, and then they're going to try to stay open a little bit after school, so that way families can come too. And also have a space for performances, and just kind of depending on how many people are available, they'll kind of do the schedule for the performances for that. Or anybody who just wants to have booths with some information available. They are reaching out to the various student unions at high schools in the district, but again, also want to bring in community partners. So I'm going to pass around my cards, and if you know of anybody, feel free to email me and connect, and then I will connect you to the organizers out here. So June 16th, and the time would be from noon to 3.
This is the one you. Mm-hmm.
So good morning. So I am the second equity specialist for Central Kitsap, and my name is Martha Little. So like Amy said, we support the district in various equity-related work and supports. And so aside from supporting the equity teams in the buildings, we provide professional development, and we support the district with building cultural competency and lots of other things that come under that umbrella. And so part of our work is, and right now this is very much at the surface level, and so one of the things that we are working very hard to do is to create spaces where our students can see themselves, and so we know how important representation is, and until our textbooks show the diversity in our classrooms and celebrate the history and the diversity in the classrooms, we need to then create and support schools with resources that again celebrate diversity and teach a little bit about the history. And so one of the things that we do is we celebrate the federally recognized months starting in September. And then we do this for we do this for 6 of the federally recognized months. And we provide resources like this one right here. This is a slide deck. We just started it for next year, and so it's celebrating community leaders it's officially it's Hispanic Heritage Month, but some of our community members identify as Latin or Latinx. And so then we decided to use both Latinx and Hispanic. And these are community members that we have reached out to and have agreed to allow us to celebrate their leadership in our community. And there is Martita May. And so what our ask for you is that if you can connect us with other Spanish-speaking Latinx, Hispanic community leaders that we might reach out to and get their permission to share their bio and then their picture. And these are displayed in some school offices, some school common areas like lunchrooms or libraries, and then schools that don't have screens create bulletin board or displays. And again, the idea is that our students, as they're walking through their environment, they can see themselves represented in their spaces. And so any help that we can get from you for all of our communities. So this one, of course, is for September, and then we have Disability History and Awareness Month. We also want to celebrate our leaders, and then Native American Month, and then Black History Month, and Women's History Month. So all of our women leaders that are in here, we could celebrate you and highlight you. And then we have, AANHPI, which is this month, and then we have Pride Month. And so if you know of anyone that we should be highlighting and celebrating, if you would either share their contact, we'll hand out our business cards, share their contact with us. And also maybe talk to them and say, hey, this would be a great thing for you to be part of. Our kids need to see you in their schools because our kids recognize the community members, and then they can say, oh, I can do that too. I can be that person, right? And so any help we can get from you, because we really want to bolster representation in our schools.
Thank you, Marta. Any questions for Marta Little?
Have you reached out to other districts to share these slides and have them be in other districts' schools?
I have not, and I'll tell you why. Because this year I only got permission to share in our schools, and so what we want to do is for next year extend that out and have this be public facing. But we need permission from the individuals that we're highlighting.
Absolutely.
And so for this year, because we only got permission to have them in our buildings, we have been very respectful of that. And so I think that moving forward, once we get permission to share publicly, then of course we would love to share with other districts.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other question? No? Thank you. Yes, we will. Now let me wear my other hat. My name is Martita May, and I work with Kitsap Public Health District. And I work with the parent-child program, Nurse Family Partnership. I just in love with this program. I didn't realize that all this brings me back when I started, with April Bourbon and your server, started kayak, helping these ladies from, Guatemala, people, and in Mexico and other countries coming to the center, pregnant, wanting resources, how they can. So it just brought me back, and I said, wow, this is what I love to do. And now there is more resources through this program. There is a national base. It calls Nurse Family Partnership. It's national website. You can go there and see all the statistics. It is beautiful, beautiful program. So I wanted to probably just put it in here. Nurse Family, that way you can see it, be familiar with this family partnership. It's right there. And, well, it says Kitsap County, but sorry, King County. It is national. Let me take partnership. Partnership. Doesn't have this one. So that way you can have an idea how it looks like. So this is the one. And the good thing is that they're for first-time mothers. They're going to be mothers-to-be, first-time. And for them to be able to qualify into this program, they must be 28 weeks of pregnancy or gestation or less. As soon as they know they're pregnant, please refer it to me because I'm going to make sure, I will put them in the wait list if they qualify for this program. Again, to qualify, they must be 28 weeks or less. And after the 29 weeks we cannot, they do not qualify for the program. But again, if they are 29 weeks or almost, still we provide the support, maternal services support, and also the resources that they need. Also, they must hold the Apple Health insurance and to be able to qualify for this. Or if they have WIC, they qualify. So we make sure that, again, assign a personal nurse. I said private nurse. And the nurse will visit them at home, so home visitors, nurses, and they will go take them through the entire pregnancy and guide them with educational tools, resources, tools for them to, they say, how to also how to, they will learn techniques how to put the baby asleep. And oh my gosh, it is tons of, I just get so emotional. And we've seen, the results. Having a personal nurse through this program, it makes a huge difference in our community for the kids, emotionally. So they do support with tons of resources. Again, the other, this is the great thing that, having your personal nurse, but also I always, when I talk to them, I say, hey, before you go into the hospital, a month before, put in your calendar, or 3 weeks before, make sure you can order through the nurse a crib, car seat, portabebé, car seat, a bundle, maternity bundle, clothing for the baby, diapers, and again, it is one of the things. I was talking yesterday, so emotional with one of the nurses from CK, and I say one of the things, we will go reach out to organizations and schools. We don't want middle schoolers, right? But I had to provide this information just to make sure they have the resources. And then one of the things, students, high schoolers, it happens. So they want to continue their education, is one of the things that we provide that information, support. How can we support you for you to continue the education? That's why we provide tons of resources. And thank you, Christy, for bringing up the discovery, because I'm looking for more resources, that provide child care. So all these benefits, and then since the high schooler doesn't work, they're going to be focusing on the baby. So we want to provide all the resources, bringing all these partnerships that, again, Kidvantage, is one of them that we place order through the nurse, and then through Kidvantage. I make sure that, okay, everything is good, so I will go and pick up. I don't care, it's okay. I will go and pick up all the clothing, strollers, crib, diapers, wipes, everything. So this is an amazing resource for our families and our young, mamas to be. So this is amazing. So please, if you want me to go to your organization and I can talk about this and provide, flyers and resources, flyers and contact information, please give me a call and I'll be happy to share with you. Now, because we also provide postpartum feeding. The nurse will provide with all this information. But also we have the postpartum event is coming up again, Mama Moves. And this is how it looks like, the flyer. And I'm going to be passing this around. But also I incorporated this just to encourage, because it's coming up this Friday. And we're going to be at the Evergreen Park. So we're going to be meeting every other Friday in different parks, and beautiful parts of Kitsap County. So please go to Instagram, and you'll see other posts, and updates what is the next park that we're going to be visiting. So visit our website, also website and Instagram. So for Mama Moves. And for parent-child, you can go to the Kitsap Public Health District parent-child website. And I'm working on the translation in Spanish, the video, because it's in English right now. So we need to have this translated to Spanish. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I will be passing around the flyers and also my business card. I ran out of the English version. I'm waiting. I was supposed to have it yesterday, but I haven't. The English version, but I'll be happy to stop by the office and drop off. Any questions for please about this program? No? Thank you. And Olympic College, we're in the other half as well. So Olympic College is going to be almost quarter. So June we're going to be starting with the registration for ESL and continuing education for high school. So if you have any questions, I also send clients to call me, and I'll make sure we know them. So thank you so much. I'm going to pass this information, and I'm going to go ahead, and then Melanie, again, she's going to be doing her presentation. So let's do this. I need to put it in, download it in. So Melanie,
Kidvantage in Bremerton. So I do have to apologize. These are not actual PowerPoint presentation slides. My license for Microsoft Office expired overnight or something. But I have a PDF. It does still say Eastside Baby Corner. We did change our name in November to Kidvantage. Because we are no longer just on the east side of King County. We don't just serve babies, and we don't only take up a corner of a space. We've been in Bremerton for about 6 years, almost 7. We are serving pregnant and postpartum mamas, families, and then our other locations are serving kids up through age 12. And so we're doing this by collecting donations from the community, working with community partners such as the Nurse Family Partnership Program, OESD's Early Head Start and Head Start programs, ECAP as well. Same with Kitsap Community Resources, Kayak. And we're doing this so that all of our families can be healthy, safe, and prepared, and we want to relieve that parental stress. I first became aware of Eastside Baby Corner when I was pregnant with this guy right here. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I went and applied for WIC. I went and applied for the Nurse Family Partnership Program, and thankfully I qualified, so I was able to get a nurse. The first thing that my nurse brought me was maternity clothes from EBC. She also brought me diapers and wipes. I'm pretty sure I got a layette bundle. We got lots of stuff from EBC. And then when I came back from having him, I was working with KCR at the time, and we had just been onboarded to offer this to our families as well. So I was able to talk about my own experiences with getting items with the families I was working with. So that was really powerful. It's always more powerful when it's personal. And I can just say I was so grateful to have a nurse to talk to. I'd worked with babies, from 6 weeks up to, 10 or 12 years old. But I'd never been pregnant. I'd never breastfed. I'd never done any of that stuff. So having someone that I could text or call on a moment's notice was incredibly helpful. Not to mention he was 9 weeks early. So having a preemie and never having a kid before, it was a big deal. So let me back up a little bit. So Eastside Baby Corner, which is now Kidvantage, was started in 1990 in Issaquah by a wonderful woman named Karen Ridlon. She also worked with new families, and she was noticing that families, could get formula from WIC sometimes, but they couldn't get the other stuff that it takes to raise kids. Diapers, clothes, shoes, the toys and books that really do enrich their environment and their learning. And so she reached out to her community and started gathering donations from her community and working with the other community partners that she was working with as a nurse to help get them into the homes of kids who needed them most. And so it's just grown from there. So in 2016, Eastside Baby Corner made the move to Bremerton, and in April of 2016 they opened their doors. Nurse Family Partnership was one of the first community partners that we worked with, and it's just hasn't stopped. We currently have 4 locations where we are distributing out of. So our Issaquah hub was where it all started. We had a North Shore Kenmore location, but it has moved to Shoreline. We also have a distribution-only location in Kent, so they serve a lot of South King County, and then also in Bremerton, which is where I am. And so this is kind of a graphic. We have an updated one as well. It kind of gives you a walkthrough of how everything works. So when you donate stuff, it comes into the hub. Our volunteers will sort through the items. We do safety checks on anything that a child's butt is going to be in, basically. So if they're going to sit in it or sleep in it, we do safety checks on it. We make sure that all the cribs have all the pieces, all of that kind of stuff. And then all of the items get stored in our warehouse, and then as providers place orders, then our volunteers will go in and they will fill those orders. So when Martita places a layup bundle order for a new mom who's about to have a baby, I get that order on a Thursday evening or Friday morning, and then I can go in to the hub and hand it to one of my volunteers and say, go build a layette, and then 2 hours later they come back with this giant bag of stuff that we then Martita has to heft into her car. But those layettes are huge. We call them a baby shower in a bag. We provide about a week's worth of clothing in each size from newborn up to 9 to 12 months. Turns out it's a lot of stuff. We also give books, toys, hygiene items, some care items, that kind of stuff. And we also include things for the mom as well. So we try to give her a treat or something special that's just for her. Sometimes it's just a tote bag, but they're always handmade tote bags. We have so many groups that make us stuff. We get toiletry items, fun, fancy toiletry items, and we give those to the mom as well. What else do we do in the layettes? I think that's about it. Bottles. pacifiers, all kinds of stuff. We also try to individualize orders as well, so providers have the opportunity to make notes on their orders. So if a kid is in a size 4T most of the time, but in some shirts they need a size up or whatever, they can put that in the notes. If they have specific likes or dislikes, or they can't do tags in the pants or shirts or whatever it is, they can let us know that, and we do our very best to fill those requests. There's a person behind that tag filling that order, trying to make sure they're getting all the right stuff in that bag. One of the biggest things that I'm really proud of what we do is that we help the helpers. So I spent many years in direct service. I've worked with families a very long time. And so I'm able to step out of that role and help the rest of the people who are still working in direct service. We're doing about 500 to 600 orders each week. And some of these are some of the folks that come and pick orders up. So on the left there, that's Mac. He's with Kayak. He's one of their amazing volunteers who comes and picks stuff up. And then he is usually the one who will volunteer to drive out to Belfair. Yes, I serve families in Mesa County through Kayak. It's incredible. So Mac right there was picking up, looks like a bundle, some diapers, an outdoor toy probably, and then on the right there you can see a couple of the OESD ladies picking up their orders as well. That's, Miranda? I can't remember her name. She hasn't been in for, it's Iris, and I don't remember.
Iris and I can't remember, sorry.
I think it was an M. I'm so sorry.
They're so good at it.
But they're so wonderful. They come in, so OESD is one of my largest providers, and I think on my next slide, Martita, is all of my providers that I have right now. So that's all of my providers. So I have 11 or 12 at the moment, and they order pretty regularly. I have some providers who order every week. OESD is one of them. Kayak is another. They order every week, and they're ordering for a lot of kids. So OESD, I believe, has 14 or 15 sites that we serve currently. So when I say it takes them an hour, it's because they're checking everything to make sure that their list matches what is on the shelf, and that they're getting every single thing that was ordered, that they're taking it back to OESD so that those kids get everything they need. It's intense. It's awesome. I love it. Thursdays are my favorite days because that's when all of the hard work from the previous week is like, it's like a release. Everything goes out, and then we get to start all over. It's great. So all of my provider partners are up there. Trying to think what else. Any questions? Yes, Victoria.
Okay, so if someone is not a partner with you yet as a provider, how do they become one? And then if you are not associated with a provider but need assistance, what would you do?
Okay, so if you are currently not a provider with KidVantage, there is an application process, and I can direct you to that through an email. Usually we set up an email introduction with Richie, who is our partner services coordinator. The Bremerton Hub is currently not at, we're at capacity for where we are. I did have one at the beginning of the year. I think I had a new person get trained, but they haven't placed orders yet. So I am definitely where I'm at. I'm at capacity for provider partners, and that's just because of the limits of my space. But there is an application process, and I do encourage anybody who's interested to apply, because then it at least, it's like a neon sign that says, hey, remember us, we need a bigger space. So that's something that we want to make sure that we are aware of who is needing services, or who else we can bring on. The second part of that question, if you have a client or someone who is in need of services, I cannot work directly with a client. So if someone shows up, I can't give them anything, but I will always direct them to all of my partner services. So because I have a background in working in direct service, and I've been in this community for most of my life, I have a pretty good idea of who our providers are, who the service, what the services are, and where people are located. So I try to direct them to the best fit as possible. So I do ask some questions of the, if I get a phone call, I'll ask the questions like, how old is your child? Is this your first pregnancy? Is this, so I can direct them to the right person so they're not wasting their time, because I know how that goes. Did that answer your question? Okay. Usually it's, I have a 3-year-old and I need a car seat, or I just am about to have a baby and we need clothes or diapers. And so then I can just, okay, well, here is everybody that I work with, and here are the programs that most of them have that sound like they could be a fit. So I do try to direct as much as possible when I get those phone calls or those people that ask.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So overcoming challenges. Yes, COVID was a challenge. I was actually hired in August of 2020. So all of my interviews were done over Zoom, which would have probably happened anyway because I wasn't going to drive to Issaquah. But it was great. So I was hired in 2020 and jumped into really interesting times. We did not slow down during COVID. We did not shut down during COVID. We didn't stop distributing during COVID. And we actually were able to maintain a fulfillment rate of about 97%. So in 2022, last year, we distributed 5.5 million items. So that is counting individual diapers as one item. But that's a lot of stuff. Out of the Bremerton hub, I distributed 28,811 orders in 50 weeks. It was a lot. And that was also, last year we were also, not only were we dealing with COVID and disrupted supply lanes, we were also dealing with, in February, the formula shortage. But we were still able to maintain those lines, those fulfillment rates, because we had volunteers in the community trying to find whatever they could. We had volunteers that were traveling for vacation to other states and saying, hey, what Similac formula did you need? Because there's like 18 cans of the orange stuff here. So I literally had a coworker go to California and buy, I don't know how many cases of Similac Sensitive and bring it back to Washington so that we could fill orders. It was yes, we have some very dedicated, not only are you guys dedicated to your families, but we try to make sure that you can do your job the best you can. I think that was everything on that one. So, this is Mount Kayak. Annika, I'm pretty sure I sent this picture to you. The picture in the middle, this was the most orders that Kayak had ever had. It was overflowing. They have a white table that most of their orders go on, but then they have a shelf next to it that now their orders go on. Everything was filled up. It was very, it was a lot of stuff. I think they had 3 volunteers picking up that day. So it was fun. It's fun. Oh, okay. Getting involved. So there's lots of ways to get involved. Tell your clients, tell your families that they can donate to us. We're open for donations, and we will take pretty much anything that a kid would use, wear, play with, read, anything like that. The only thing we don't like is obviously expired car seats, because I have to throw them away. Yes, I can take unexpired car seats. There's a form on our website. I also have paper copies at the hub that just ask for contact information for whoever's donating it, and then a couple of questions about whether or not it's been involved in an accident. And I'm also a child passenger safety technician, and so all the car seats that we get donated, I have the ability to check and recertify, and then we can redistribute them. But don't do it now, because I have so many. It's bad. I now have a car seat mountain in the back. And then, you can host a drive. Our diaper derby, our 9th annual diaper derby, just started on Friday. This is 4 to 5 weeks, along with the Kentucky Derby, where it's a competition between like-sized businesses and organizations where they collect diapers, and the more diapers you collect, the further your horse goes. And you can win the Triple Crown or the Preakness. What's it called? Can't think of the word. The picture that's up there on the very far right, that's the couple of representatives from the Kiwanis Club of Gig Harbor. They were the Preakness Division winners last year for Diaper Derby, and they collected 10,389 diapers for us, which we went through in about a week. But it was good that we had them. So it's my favorite thing about Diaper Derby is that we get a lot of brands that we get requests for from providers. So we have a lot of what am I trying to say? We get a lot of orders for diapers. Obviously, that's probably one of the things that we have the most orders for. And some kids have sensitivities, and so they can only use certain brands. Diaper Derby is usually the way that we get those brands, because when we buy the diapers, we have to get them in bulk, and we have to get them at the cheapest price, so we tend to get, they're still hypoallergenic, they're still great diapers, but Cuties are not Pampers. Cuties are not Honest Company. They're not, yeah. So it's really great that we're able to fill some of those orders, because then it's more things that I can say was delivered. And that information is not correct. I have cards. Like I said, this is an old presentation, so that's not. Yeah. Yeah.
And Melanie, can you talk about? Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Yes. Can you talk about the classes that you're doing for the taxis?
Oh yes, yes. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. That's actually on Friday. On Friday, we are working in partnership with Kayak, and we are holding a car seat check event for their families here in Bremerton. So it's going to be in the parking lot of the Boys and Girls Club on Wheaton Way. Sign-ups, I think, are still open. I haven't. Probably full.
But
yeah.
People can contact us because we're having a list.
Yeah, probably full. I think we are set to have 4 or 5 technicians and an instructor, which is kind of really cool for me because I need to get sign-offs. And so it's really great. So this is our 3rd event with Kayak, where we're going to be checking car seats and distributing car seats as needed to families who work through Kayak. So it's always a really fun event. It's always really, really, it's always a learning experience for all of us, but it's also just really impactful, and I'm really excited that we get to do it again. Yeah.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. And before I continue, and then I saw my one the conflict also. I wanted to have an opportunity to talk about this organization as well. So an invitation for all the community, as we mentioned earlier, that Jay is going to be also working with the Mexican communities as well in North Kitsap, what is North Kitsap School District. We will need to support, and I'm going to Lori Maria to talk about that. We were having a meeting the last May 5th. We had a meeting supporting our Latino family that have been facing and facing racism at school, the high school, and also threats from students. So it's really concerning, and we have a lot supporting this cause. Care, we started with initiative and other community allies. So Maria will talk about it, that we are here to support our community, and we need everybody's support for our next gathering that we will be doing with the families. We have Daniel was able to gather some families with me doing a protest. So I'm going to ask Maria to talk more about that. Marwan go first? Yeah, I will let Marwan at the end, that way he can do it. Okay. Yeah. So Maria, please,
Sure.
name and the agency that we represent.
So I'm here as Maria Fergus with the Kitsap Public Health District, but in relation to what Martins is asking me to provide an update, I don't have a district. That's be taking off my hat as a district employee and just share what I do as a community volunteer. So we have been supporting our Latino families. attend the care meetings as a volunteer, and I also interpret when necessary. So on Monday, we had a meeting that the NAACP convened with our families in Polsbo and discussed the solutions that the parents had submitted at the request of the school district and resolving the concerns that they raised back in November. I'm not sure if you guys read the article that was printed about that meeting. And I know that there were some parents that were planning a protest for May 18th, but I left. I was actually talking to someone else, and I heard a little bit about it, but I don't have the details, Martita. I know there's going to be a protest at or after the school board meeting on May 18th.
Yes, and I was there. I was there. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a protest during the board meeting next week, right there at the school. So, we're going to be posting that information and sharing it on social media.
Right. And so some of the requests from the families back in February that was submitted to the district was making sure that the English learner students were getting the appropriate level of resources to learn English and be able to succeed in their other subjects. They also requested that there would be investigation as to incidences that were reported that students were experiencing, not just from their peers, but some staff also at North Kitsap School District, and finding a way on how they could file complaints. So that's, and there's more, I believe there's an article that was printed that has all the 7 solutions that the parents requested.
Thank you, Maria. And this started back in November, and then brought to our attention, and again, a lot of community leaders were working with this, and CARE, we started using initiatives with support from other groups and come up with 7 initiatives that then answering or to implement those. So we are going now attention on the media. So I'm working in musicians, late night talking with musicians and Martita, you never rest? No. It was 10 o'clock and talking with musicians because I come for years, you know, and we are, I mean, I'm so that God that had a relationship with many people and give the contact information so on and that way, you know, so they are really there to support our community, but also trying to work with the Washington Human Rights Council. So we should bring that also to support us because this is happening since November and there's no answer. So we're going to keep you posted.
And putting my hat back on for the district.
Thank you.
So one of the reasons why I attended the meeting in November is we had community members come to us and share their concerns about our youth mental health because of the racism that they were experiencing. And so we're very happy to see that so many of our community partners are having conversations around mental health, specifically youth mental health. So there's a flyer for an event that's coming up next week. So if you could just share that information with your network to make sure that people are joining this conversation because it's an important conversation to have. I also have a flyer for another event talking about suicide because we know that when youth mental health is not is an issue, it can lead to suicide. And our Child Death Review Board has found that the majority of youth suicides are BIPOC youth, and there's a question as to whether the experiences that they're having with racism and bullying and discrimination might have an impact on that. And you probably know about Dog Loves the Kids. He does the free shoe giveaway in the spring. He's doing the free backpack and school supplies in August, and so I want to make sure that you get an update as to that event coming up. And then Friday, there is a spring carnival that's hosted by Catalyst Public Schools, so I've got some flyers for that as well. Thank you.
Can I ask what district was the previous hat? What district were you talking about?
North Kitsap School
North
District.
Kitsap. Okay, that's what I thought.
Martitha? I actually forgot to mention something kind of big that I brought. Is it okay if I share now? Okay. Kind of taking off a hat, but like wearing two different hats. One of Kitsap Strong's partners and one of the people that I've been working, or one of the agencies that I've been working with for a long time is DCYF, the Strengthening Families portion, which is the prevention of child abuse and neglect. And they have coloring books based around protective factors, and we're talking a lot about families and how to build up families. And these coloring books are amazing. This one is only available in English, unfortunately, but I do have some that just came out this year, so these are brand new, and I do have them in Spanish. And if you want to take one of these, you can actually go to their website and order a whole bunch for free. And I think once you go through them, you'll see like the benefit that they have, and they're based off of the protective factors, which is one of the things that Kitsap Strong is promoting. So that would include things like parental resilience, knowledge of parenting and child development, social connections, concrete support in times of need, and social and emotional competency of children. And so those 5 factors have been proven to prevent child abuse and neglect. So they're based off of that. What I love about this one that I have right now is that the kids actually are able to draw in their own picture on the bottom portion. So they can put in the answer to how does your parent or important adult make you feel. So they get to color in whatever they feel in that one. And then my favorite part about these ones is that they're based off of true stories of real people that have done amazing things in their community. Like, there's a page that mentions a mom that notices that there's a playground with no swing for her daughter that's in a wheelchair. And so she advocates to get one put in. And so they're just really adorable. And then there's a postcard on the back so you can send it to your hero and say why they're your hero. So I brought some for everyone. You can take one of each. It's up to you. But I wanted to put it out there. And then if you go to their website, like I said, you can order these. You can order temporary tattoos that are the little pinwheel and seeds and bookmarks, I think. Anyway, they have a bunch of stuff based around this theme. And it's a subtle way to get protective factors, the idea, thinking about them into families' lives. So I just wanted to elevate that and offer it. And if you don't take them, that's okay. I have kids that will color them. I think you should.
Oh my goodness, I am so happy Kitsap Strong took that program. Love that program. It was the first time bringing it here to Kitsap County, Washington State University, and that's why I always hold my meetings here, because I used to work with Washington State University with that program and coordinating, bringing the strengthening families, and I love it. And we had it in English and Spanish, so materials, everything. So maybe one of them, and you can get the Spanish, version, because yes, and I was training the trainer too to go to Seattle. So I love it. I'm so happy to have some brought it up, and very fortunate to be in this community that really works to help our community. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is Kitsap Strong. Were 3 conveners for the Let's Graduate Kitsap and Mesa County. So I am so grateful that was part of that initiative. And Dr. Mitchell, the former Community College president, Bishop Robertson, president, please, and the server who started with this Let's Graduate Kitsap Strong. Let's Graduate Kitsap County and Mason County, and then we
Oh, well, thank you. It is live meeting. We're broadcasting on 2 Facebook pages and 2 YouTube pages. I didn't broadcast Twitch today, but for the gamers, they need to be informed also. I'm Marwan Cameron. I'm the Executive Director of Gather Together, Grow Together, and the Conduit Podcast Network, which is what we're doing here today. Lots of things to talk about. The big one is the Working Family Tax Credit. I'm very, very, very sorry to hear that as I'm talking to folks in the community, many people still do not know about this tax credit. I've gone to Mount Zion and talked with their church. They didn't know. I was talking with Martita, and a lot of folks still don't know. So even if they have filed for their taxes, they can still go ahead and do that. What that is we pay federal taxes. We don't pay state taxes. There's a state tax credit for working families. But if you don't have any children, you still may be eligible. So all you have to do is go to Working Family Tax Credit and get that information, or you can call our office at 360-373-3000. And we have a computer lab, and we can help folks apply for that. And we do have a bookkeeper and an accountant that can help you with that. So we have that schedule. So we're going to continue to push that and push that and push that, because we don't want anyone to lose out on this opportunity. The grant that we're under is coming through Commerce, and again, many BIPOC folks in the community and folks from a lower socioeconomic status do not hear about these opportunities, and so we want to make sure that they have that information. As always, we are a transportation company also. We operate. Go ahead, Martita.
Yeah, before you continue with that, so that you can share is in Mesa Redonda. That's in 2 English and Spanish version for the tax credit. You can share in your organization that we are promoting that.
And if you go to the website, there are little short videos and things in different languages. I think there's Tagalog and some other things on there. I'm supposed to deliver some to a Filipino market later today, hopefully. I'm kind of triple booked. Anyway, we do have a transportation company also. We operate at about the third of a price of an Uber or a cab. We work with agencies like Kitsap Mental Health and Salvation Army. Today we're working with the Bremerton Court and Drug Court. And so what we're doing is there's a gentleman who is being released today from jail. We're running around getting all the paperwork done and transporting him directly from the jail to treatment in another city, so we can keep that continuum of care and there's not a lapse there. We're part of the Welcome Home Project as far as providing transportation there. So we've got all these different unique ways. Anyone can call us. It's not just for indigent or low-income individuals. So we take folks to the airport. We do all kinds of things. And we pretty much operate 365, 7 days a week. And then during the winter months, we have a contract with the county. We're part of 211, and so we get folks to the severe weather shelter. So we're a big advocate for those that are unhoused. This summer, we're going to be doing our 3rd year of the summer food program through OSPI. If you are a closed site, I think we're going to be focusing on closed sites, and your kiddos from 0 to 18 want a free meal and a snack, we will be able to provide that. Last year, we were doing 100 meals a day during the summer. The year previous, during COVID, we were able to deliver those meals. We're still advocating for that because we feel like there's an equity issue there, where last year we were at KCR at the park. Parents would have to come down and eat the meals there with the children, and then they were also supposed to wait 15 minutes to have the snack, and that doesn't make any sense. So we're going to focus on closed sites, and so if you have any summer programs going on and you're like, well, we don't have food for the program, you can have food for your program, and we will make it happen for you. So again, reach out, 360-373-3000. Also, The Conduits of Change is a new show that airs on BCAT every Friday at 5:30. And so that is about interviewing African-American voices here in Kitsap County and talking about the history, Loxie Egan's, Quincy Jones, and just all the other things. And so there are 2 episodes that are on there. You can watch them on demand now, but they do air live 5:30 on Fridays. Let's see, is there anything else that I want to talk about? I think that's enough. Oh, I will say I'm here broadcasting this for Martita. If you do have information that you need to elevate or broadcast, please let me know, and I'll do the best that I can do. I'm kind of an army of one with a little bit of help. So if I have not interviewed you yet, I am severely behind. So it's not that I've forgotten, but you just have to kind of ping me. And then as things kind of come up as an emergency, like what's happening in North Mason or South Kitsap, then, I kind of make those a priority and jump in and do those. I just broadcast a funeral for a very close friend, which was closed circuit. And so the conduit is expanding in the things that it does. So if you need help elevating that message, please let me know. Absolutely. The last thing I'll say, Martita, is I'm passing around my card. It does have a QR code, which will take you to the conduit on YouTube. And if you, we cover things like city council meetings, school board meetings. Those things are important. So if you've been paying attention to what's been going on with Bremerton React, with city council, those things are super critical. And so decisions are made, and we're not often in the room. And so I try to elevate that and just kind of bring it to the folks. So they have access to it and knowledge, and so we can take action on it. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick question. So I'm very excited about the fact that you are gathering history through interviews, and so just wondering about being able to access those to create lessons for our teachers to be able to use in the classroom, because we know that our kiddos need to be able to hear their histories in the classrooms. So maybe we can talk later about how we can work together to.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
And here's why I love it. So typically when you record on BCAT, it's just FYI, right? If they edit the video and they put it on, it's their intellectual property. It's their IP. I didn't want that, right? We can't lose our own, information, right? It's our stories and we don't have, control over them. So I have to take we use the studio, they record, I take it, I edit it. So we own the IP, so absolutely yes.
I'd like Vasilika just to talk a little about, we brought some material for our classes that are starting up and what she's offering. And also we wanted to pass around some information on our Goodwill Connect program. We brought some in English and Spanish, and that is the computer giveaway for, low-income people looking for work, older people living, way out in the suburbs somewhere. So it has the phone number to call down here. It's an intake. It's a Washington State program. They will take the information and then put them into tiers. We have 3 tiers, and so then they call them as they come up. And it's a great program, and it's a great little computer with a case, a mouse, and whatever. So we want to kind of have people share that.
Hi. I've been serving Kitsap community. Majority of my clients are Spanish population, and if they don't have education and they're undocumented, we take them in, and even they have never been able to read and write in their own language, we take them in. So right now it's the registration time, and then citizenship, it's for people who have been here for a while, would like to become citizen, but also if they'd like to improve their English, it's designed also so because there are certain words they learn about history, geography of the United States. So I have flyers, business cards. So if you're interested, share the words. Registration is happening this moment.
Thank you, Vasilika.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
some flyers as well. So again, thank you. We'll be adjourning. Before I said Happy Mother's Day again for all those my mama. And then you have the signing sheet, please. Just see you haven't signed your name with the certificates of the amount. Exactly.
I was supposed to meet with RD. All right, that concludes our meeting. Kitsap Mesa Redonda. This meeting is every other month at 8:30 a.m. So make sure that you subscribe, like, and share so that you never miss. Hopefully this was a lot of good information for you. If you need some information, please go to the Facebook page of Kitsap Mesa Redonda, or you can reach out to me through the conduit, and I will try to connect you to the people that you need to connect to. All right, I am R1 Cameron. This is the conduit. We will see you at 1 p.m. for Tipping Points and Puzzle Pieces. We'll see you at 3 p.m. for KCR and Bremerton Housing Authority, and then we'll see you at 5:30 p.m. for City Council study session.